Hello everyone, this is Highlander from MTGC Cardsmith doing another custom Magic the Gathering card review. And today we're looking at another card by our friend Arceus from his set Ethoria or something. So what do we got here? We got an Enlightened Sovereign and we're using an alternate card frame. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cute? Full art card frame. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. This is a... this is a mythic. Okay. So let's go on the journey of reading the card. 3 mana, 2/3. Okay. Now, them stats are pretty weak, especially for a mythic. I mean, a 3 mana, 2/3 is like fine, right? But you're not happy about it. So better have something good on this card as far as text goes, rules text. So let's see what we got. This is a human wizard. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control no other permanents other than Enlightened Sovereign and have no cards in your hand, in your graveyard, or in your library, you win the game. Okay. Exile an untapped permanent you control. Add red. Strange. Exile target creature you control. Exile a card from your hand, draw a card. Okay, so this card's kind of wacky. Okay, so the body doesn't really matter because this is all about the ability here. So if you control no permanents other than Enlightened Sovereign and have no cards in your hand, in your graveyard, or in your library, you win the game. That seems pretty hard to do. Oh, I see. Okay, so you can exile an untapped permanent you control to gain red mana. Red? Okay. Exile a creature you control. And exile a card from your hand to draw a card. Okay, so ignoring everything else on this card. It even has to be an untapped permanent. I see. So if we ignore everything else on this card and just look at this, we've got ourselves a little looter. That was the worst box in the history of boxes. We got ourselves a little looter, right? So you get to exile a card from your hand to draw a card. Okay. Excuse me, let me drink my tea. Now, exiling a creature you control, clearly you're only going to do this like if your creature gets like targeted by some removal or it's going to die, like it's a chump blocker or something, or if you're like really close to this victory clause here. And then exiling an untapped permanent you control to add red is neat, I suppose. So this card does a lot of this. It does a lot of the things you need for this on its own. The one thing that seems tricky is you have to have no permanents in your... Or you have to have no cards in your graveyard. No cards in your hand, in your graveyard, or in your library. Now, this seems very difficult to pull off, even like with all this stuff. Okay, so you need to have no cards in your graveyard. Okay, you need to have no cards in your hand, and the thing about that is, because you need to have no cards in your hand and wait, hold on. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. If you control no permanents other than Enlightened Sovereign and no cards in your hand, in your graveyard, or in your library, you win the game. Okay, I thought this was and in your library. It's actually or. So this is actually different, right? Okay. This is actually weird. If you control no permanents other than Enlightened Sovereign and have no cards in your hand, in your graveyard, or in your library, you win the game. I see. So does this mean you can play this card, have an empty hand, and you just win? I'm assuming that's not your intention. I think this is supposed to say and, right? Beginning of your upkeep, if you control no permanents other than Enlightened Sovereign and have no cards in your hand, in your graveyard, and in your library, you win the game. I guess or I mean I know why you put or there because it sounds right, but I think your intention is to have everything exiled basically, right? So in that case, the scary thing with this card is you play it, and then you're like, all right, well, let me just start exiling stuff, and then eventually you exile your whole library, and you happen to have a card in hand or something, and then you're like, well, I guess I lose the game because I have a card in my hand that I can't use, and I'm about to draw from an empty library, something like that. So, I mean, this is a meme card, right? This is just a meme card. Excuse me. Yeah, like, I think some players will see this and get excited about it. But to me, I look at this and I'm like, this is a meme card. I'm never playing this card. Like, it's so much work to actually do this. Like, this is so much work. You might as well just try and kill your opponent. I feel like that's just easier. just play white creatures and attack them, man. This is just so much work. I mean, the exiling your permanents part is not that difficult, right? Because she just does that on her own. On that note, I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Sure. And she kind of helps you churn through your library, but she doesn't help you get rid of the final card in your hand. And she doesn't help you... I guess she does, right? So... Okay, so if you have you have to make sure that the library... You have to make sure that you use this ability... Oh, geez, look at my terrible lines. You have to make sure you use this ability here last. So you exile everything that you can possibly exile, and then you pay this. Draw a card. Wait, how do you pay this if you've exiled everything else though? Because you only get red mana from this, and this has to be an untapped permanent, right? So you can't tap a land for blue and then exile it and then do this part, right? Because you would need to have no permanents. How are you going to pay for this? This card seems very difficult to pull off. I don't know. There's probably some angle I'm not seeing here, and, it's kind of cute and all, but, just, I don't know, just attack your opponent, man. It's just going to be way easier. Mill them out if that's your thing. But, Enlightened Sovereign, I don't... Stop looking at me like that. I'm not casting you. All right, what rating do we give this card? Excuse me, sorry, drinking my tea. Well, it's certainly interesting. I mean, there have been other cards that have been kind of similar to this one. Not in this way, but alternate win cons. So, for example, one I can think of is Hedron Alignment. Okay, Hedron Alignment is a 3-mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may reveal your hand. If you do, you win the game if you own a card named Hedron Alignment in exile, in your hand, in your graveyard, and on the battlefield. So you have one in every zone, basically. This is not the easiest thing to pull off, but it's a lot easier than this lady, I'm pretty sure. So many things can go wrong with this card. And you have to be all in on this card, right? This isn't a card you just throw in your deck because it sometimes can win you the game. You got to be all in on this. Because you need to have ways to clear your library out, or your graveyard. Because yes, I know you can exile your own creatures if they die, but I mean, you're gonna be playing some instants or sorceries. I mean, come on, you're gonna have stuff in your graveyard. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a cute idea, but just so much can go wrong. Also, imagine you go to draw your last card and they just kill this thing. This is your only permanent blade. They just kill it, and you're like, well, guess I lose. This is Magical Christmas Land times 5. So, yeah, I can't say I'm a big fan of Enlightened Sovereign. I think some players will like it, but it's just a meme card basically. So you play it because you want to like unlock the achievement basically. Like that's what this is for. And again, some players will like it, but I think most players will just ignore this card. So I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna give this one a 6 out of 10. I don't know. I can't I can't give you that many good reasons. So I mean, the card's formatted well. It's just I don't know, man. It's fine. It's just like it's for some players. It's for some small niche of players that'll like it. But that player is not me, and so I don't know. I have to give this a 6 out of 10. I can't give you that many good reasons why, except that I just don't like it. So I'm sorry. All right, so 6 out of 10 for Enlightened Sovereign. Thank you guys for watching.